Alrighty guys, now we're going to read pages 10 to 16. Remember, these are the PowerPoint pages. They're not the actual page numbers of the book, but that's what we're using for today's lesson, okay? So follow along with me. This one's a little difficult to read. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. 1 second. There we go. Let's see now. I hold the sun to be the situated motionless in the center of the revolution of the celestial orbs, while the earth rotates on its axis and revolves around the sun. That is something that Galileo had written, assuming in his journal called the Starry Messenger. So, being that he said that particular thing, that Earth is not the center and it actually revolves around the sun, he had gone against the church. Galileo was ordered to stop believing what he could see with his own two eyes. He was summoned to appear before the highest ruler of the land, the Pope. So, he was pretty much being asked to say, look, I know you can see this, but we can't have you saying that, right? So the Pope wanted to talk to Galileo because he was upset with his teaching. So it says, I do not feel obligated to believe that the same God who has endowed us with senses, reason, and intellect has intended to forego their use. He would not require us to deny sense and reason in physical matters which are set before our own eyes and minds by direct experience or necessary demonstration. So, that is what Galileo had said in response to his criticism of believing what he believed with his own, what he was seeing with his own two eyes, is that the earth wasn't the center of the universe. So he's saying that, it might say this in the Bible, but I don't believe that God would say that I should not believe what I can see with my two eyes. That's what Galileo believed, and that's what he said to the Pope, right? So it shows here on the right side, someone is being tortured. It looks like it says Galileo was afraid. He knew that people had suffered terrible torture and punishment for not following tradition, and it could happen to him. So he was afraid of being this guy over here being tortured because of what he believed in. So again, this is an illustration of what one of the rooms would look like, or the room actually that Galileo was condemned to, because he was condemned by the Pope to this room because of what he believed in. So he wasn't allowed necessarily to get outside or do anything. He was condemned to this room, and the author probably made it look so kind of scary in there because to show how sad and afraid and alone Galileo was in that room, right? So it says the imposition found Galileo guilty of heresy, which is pretty much saying that whatever is being taught in the Bible is not true. So he was convicted of that, and he was tried in the Pope's court, meaning he went to court with the Pope, and everyone could see that the stars had left his eyes. So do they literally mean the stars had left his eyes? No, they're just saying that passion and his dreams were fading away because he was being accused of harming others and such, and he was on trial and court and all these things, and he was just sad about it, right? So you can see all these people in the illustration. That's how many people would be in court judging you. That's a lot of people, right? And that would be kind of scary, right? So that's Galileo in the middle. The author again put these pictures of these kind of scarier looking things to show you that he felt really afraid and alone. So it says Galileo was condemned to spend the rest of his life locked in his house under guard. But he still had stars on his mind, and no one could keep him from thinking about the wonders of the skies and the mysteries of the universe. And even when he went blind, no one could keep him from passing his ideas along to others until the day he died. But still, the ideas lived on. So, because what Galileo was teaching people, the Pope condemned him to his house, and basically there was a guard outside like this, and he was not able to leave his house. So this is what it looks like. He's in his house still thinking about the stars and everything, but he can't leave. There are guards outside making sure that he can't leave. I want you to go and answer the next few questions in your lesson. After that, we'll finish reading the rest of today's story. Thank you.